This chapter about Manjiro and the sea turtle, it's incredible. It's like
Yeah.
the ocean itself,
Hmm.
calm on the surface, but with these powerful currents underneath.
It's really something, a turning point for Manjiro.
Oh, absolutely.
What seems like just a simple encounter
Yeah,
becomes this powerful reflection on survival,
yeah.
cultural clashes. Manjiro's searching for who he is in this totally new world.
That atmosphere on the ship, you can feel it in the writing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sense of dread, the ship's stuck in the doldrums, no wind for days, the sun just beating down. Everyone's on edge.
You can just imagine. I mean, on those 19th century whaling ships, the doldrums were more than just an inconvenience, right?
Right.
They were a threat. These voyages, they lived and died by the wind, to chase whales, to bring back food.
And when there's no one to blame but the sea itself,
Yeah.
they turn on Manjiro.
Of course.
Like he's some kind of Jonah figure bringing bad luck.
It's a classic story, isn't it? That fear of the unknown amplified tenfold at sea. And Manjiro, the outsider. He becomes the perfect scapegoat for all their misfortune. This Jonah idea, it really highlights the prejudices he faced as a foreigner.
And the captain. He's not doing so well either, is he?
No, not at all. The excerpt describes him as paranoid, threatening his crew. He's desperate for someone to blame.
Right.
But it's more than just a captain facing a challenge. This is a man wrestling with the weight of life and death for his entire crew.
So you have this pressure cooker of fear, desperation, and then a glimmer of hope appears. This giant sea turtle, it just emerges out of the blue, like
Yeah.
something out of a myth,
He really is.
This symbol of resilience appearing exactly when they need it most.
And how the crew reacts says it all, doesn't it? That primal instinct to survive.
They're starving.
Exactly. They just see food, a way out of that starvation.
They need it.
On a whaling ship, fresh food, that was a luxury. Finding a turtle like that, well, that's not just luck. That could be the difference between life and death.
But Manjiro doesn't join in that frenzy, does he? It's like he sees something more.
He says he'll go after it himself, and you start to see a change in him, right?
You think so?
Yeah, it's not desperation driving him like the rest of them. It's almost as if he wants to prove something. To them, yeah, but also to himself,
He grabs a knife and dives right in. The way it's described, it's like a flash of steel, and then he's gone under the waves.
It's a huge risk.
Bold move for sure.
He's not just risking his life, though. He's stepping outside of the role they've given him, right?
I see what you mean.
He's not that passive foreigner, the Jonah, anymore. He's taking charge, and I think for the first time, they see that, a different side of him.
They see his courage.
Yeah, his strength.
So he's down there in the depths, the pressure building, and the excerpt, it mentions he starts thinking about a story his mother told him, the Japanese folktale of Urashima Taro.
Mm-hmm.
Seems important. What's the story?
Well, it's about this fisherman, Taro, and he rescues a turtle.
Okay.
And the turtle, to thank him, takes him to this underwater palace, magical, where time doesn't exist.
Wow.
And he's there for what he thinks is a few days. But when he gets back to the surface, centuries have passed. Everyone he knew is gone.
Oh, wow.
It's about loss, longing, and Manjiro, thousands of miles from home, underwater in this alien world, it comes back to him.
Powerful.
Makes you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
What choices do we make? What are we willing to sacrifice? How does our past shape us,
Right.
Taro chose to leave paradise to go home. And Manjiro, in that moment, he chooses life, the chance to return instead of giving in to the depths.
And that's when he spots the turtle. He doesn't hesitate, does he?
Not for a second.
Bursts back through to the surface, this huge turtle in tow.
It's incredible. Manjiro wins, not just over the turtle, but over that despair that almost swallowed him down there.
It's a turning point for the crew, too, right?
Absolutely.
They were ready to write him off,
Yeah.
and suddenly he's the hero.
Exactly. He's no longer the jinx. He's the provider.
They're cheering, amazed by what he's pulled off.
Even Jolly, that tough old sailor, the excerpt mentions him cracking a smile. Everyone's buzzing, everyone but the captain.
He's not quite so impressed, is he?
No, which I find fascinating.
Why do you think that is? He's just saved them, basically.
Well, on one hand, he's got to be relieved, right?
Of course, the turtle means food. It means survival.
Exactly. A reprieve for everyone. But there's something else there, a darkness.
Yeah, I see it too.
Maybe pride, or the fear of being wrong about Manjiro. It suggests that for the captain, overcoming those ingrained prejudices, those cultural barriers, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not a quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
Manjiro might have proven his worth in that moment, but there's a long way to go.
Right, he's bridged the gap for now, but the real test is whether he can build a real connection.
It's something to think about, isn't it? We've been diving deep into this encounter, this fight for survival. But it's also so much more than that.
It really is.
Manjiro, facing those odds, caught between two worlds, it makes you wonder, what would you do?
It's a question we all face, I think. Where we come from, where we're going.
It's about finding that strength within ourselves, the courage to not just survive, but to embrace the unknown, to really live.
Exactly. Manjiro's story, this brush with death, it's a powerful reminder that even when those currents threaten to pull us under, there's always a way to rise above.